Hi, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 7:55 a.m. March 11th, 2025. I don't know where I am. I have Shantey J. I almost said Shantey Jeffers. You know what I'm trying to, I should be used to saying Shantey J. I'm not doing a whole lot watching YouTube. And then I'm watching, and then I feel like, I feel like it's because sometimes, I like my vision board. One thing my vision board for 2025. I said, I bet you everything I didn't put on my vision board will be exactly what I get. And it's more like when I say that I want to do something, or I feel like the direction I go in. Sometimes it does. But I think it's more like what I don't want to do, or what it's kind of what more or less comes. I might end up. You know what? Because I'm thinking of my vision board. Because I'm thinking, like a lot. I didn't think of myself as a social media person. I was trying to avoid it. I learned how to do my makeup back in 2016, 2017. I did my little makeup journey, and I started taking pictures, and I started doing makeup. I would do my makeup, and then I would take my pictures, and then I would do my makeup, and then I'll go live on social media. I haven't done that since 2020, from 2021 up until now. It's been all about my focus. Definitely has been different, but now it seems like people put a lot of focus on what I look like when I go online, when I'm online. I think it's me having a rebellious spirit. Because I'm like, for me to just go online and just talk, or for me to just go online in my true day-to-day life, I feel like I can go on that as myself. I don't think I have to do my hair. I don't think I have to do my makeup. Just to go and talk about whatever topic. But I definitely think, even though because I don't see myself that way doesn't mean other people don't, or with whatever's going on with me and whatever. I talk about my journey, I guess. Not necessarily how I see it, but how everyone else sees it, or how other people see it, or other people out in the world see it. It's like a certain level of expectation, like I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing that. So now I'm sitting here and I'm watching certain TV shows, and I'm watching things like that. I'm thinking about how much I love makeup. I forgot. That's why I was thinking. That's why I should wear it more often. And then it's like I'm looking at these and I'm looking. I'm getting around. I've been getting around to it, but it's like I really. That's not something that I really was trying to avoid. Something I really didn't want to do. Do I know how to do my makeup? Of course. Do I know how to install a wig and do my hair? Of course I do. I definitely know how to photograph myself. But with photography, I don't photograph myself. I'm one of those people where it's like video. And so I do like a live video, and a lot of my photographs will come from these like screenshots. I do like a live video, and then I do like screenshots. So then it's like even though I said I didn't want to see myself going in that direction, I think that's definitely what is going to happen here, just because of the expectation about it. So I think definitely whether I thought that for myself or not, I definitely would move more towards doing my makeup more often. I keep saying I will never do a makeup tutorial. I said you'll never see me doing my makeup online. They already made a liar out of me. Next thing I know, some years ago, back in I think it was 2021, I was doing something else on my personal Facebook page, just talking. And and then because sometimes on my personal Facebook page, sometimes people they see me live, so what they talk to you, right? And next thing I know, someone like my makeup, like right now I'm not wearing, it's a filter. And next thing I know, I'm live on Instagram, and I'm talking about my makeup products, and I'm doing my makeup live on Instagram. If you can find it, it's still on here. Now I'm really trying to avoid that, but then I do like fashion and I do like makeup. I do think I might be interested in going to like certain like vintage shops, or thrift stores, and trying to find like certain pieces, and maybe try to put together a look around certain pieces, and doing my makeup. Because that is the reason why I don't take pictures here on social media. When I'm on social media, it's just like this. You know what? However I am that day, from my hat and my coat, like right whatever. Because I was outside with some people. Something's going on downtown Atlanta a couple weeks back, and I was out there with them. So if I was walking around looking like that, then that's how I talk to you. So it was more like you know, and then it bothered me because I felt like they were comparing me to other people. And I was like, so it's not an accident that I haven't been taking pictures and putting it on social media. And then sometimes people, they'll take me like this, and then I feel like they're comparing me to other people. But the thing is I never consider myself one. Do I watch? Of course I watch. You know what? Entertainment purposes, informative purposes, passing time purposes. It's because I don't watch that many people on social media. But I do, and I never considered myself to be one of them, but evidently other people do, and it's more like one of those things whether I like it or not. So now I feel like, you know, there's certain levels of expectation. So now I think I might be looking forward to doing my makeup more and things of that nature. Like you go to the top of my profile, and I've taken better pictures than these on my own on Instagram. Definitely in that direction, but more because my skill as a makeup artist is growing more. And you know, just in general. So I think, you know, whether I like it or not, because I think this is my expectation, and I do feel pressured about what I look like here on social media. Now, so I think that I'll be doing my makeup more and taking photographs and things like that more. Now, when I talk on day to day, this is it. However it is, wherever I am and whatever's going on with me, that's exactly what you're going to see. But as far as photograph wise, I think I might be interested in that. Because I did have an interest. I said that I wanted to be a makeup artist. I said being a makeup artist, you could be self-taught or certified. I'm definitely self-taught. I definitely could put together a palette and apply makeup the correct way and things like that. But I always, because when it comes down, or when it comes down to like photo shoots or fashion, I always saw myself being one of those behind the camera people. I didn't never have to be the one that people saw, the ones in the photographs, stuff like that. I'd be interested in doing makeup, maybe learning how to direct photo shoots and things like that. I'd be interested in that. But until then, I guess, you know, I'll try. Well, I guess, you know, I'll be doing my own makeup at some point in time. It will be more obvious, you know, and because it would be more right, you know, not just, you know, it would be, you know, exactly what seemed to be expected here on Instagram and social media from certain people for certain people. Anyway, I am ShanteyJ. Happy birthday. Almost. I just want to say that. But anyway, it is, what is it? 8:19 a.m. Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. Out in the world where I am. I knew it was something. I was going to, you know what? I said, you know what? I got these little short-term memory issues. You know what? So I was getting ready to make a cup of coffee. And I was like, hold up. And then I got just talking to myself. I said, that's why I started talking on social media. I really was talking to myself. I said back in December, I said, if you knew how bad it was, you know what, you understand why I was talking on here more often. You know what? Because it's not, you know, I can't just sit there and just, you know, child, I just had, it was something, you know what? So I'm not saying, you know, anytime I feel the need to talk, I feel the urge to talk, I pick up my cell phone and I go live on Instagram, put my filter on. I talk as much as I want, and some people watch, not many. I am. I guess I maybe suffer. I'm doing a new Facebook page. I don't know what the hell happened to me. I had the same Facebook account for years. All of a sudden, I got 2-factor authentication on there. I'm trying to the Google authenticator. They swear a lot. I set up a code. I'm like, hold up, I did get an email about something. It started with a 7. That's all I'm gonna say. And I was like, something told me not to delete it. You know what? And I was like, did you set this up? That's my fault for not paying any attention. But anyway, so one of the reasons that I want to delete my social media account, my Facebook account, is because my family photo albums were misplaced some years ago, and all of my family photographs are on Facebook. So that's why I want to delete those Facebook pages. So now my SCJ Fashions page, the account with my SCJ Fashions on there, my Throwing Relationship Rules out on there is on that account. My O&N Times is on there. I usually post for Stalking Awareness Month is on there. So that's ShanteyTuckerJeffers1@gmail.com. It's just whatever, you know what? So I just made a screenshot. I just screen record what I had when I logged in and what I saw when I logged on. Put it on Twitter because that's where the majority of people look at it. Most of my social media interactions are on Twitter. I'm starting another Facebook page. I appreciate it if you like it. If you know it. You know what? Sometimes they say you gotta ask. Well, anyway, I said anytime someone says something, there was a question or a comment, I would never answer them just by themselves. I would, because just because they're the one person that acts, that doesn't mean they're the only person that wonders, or the only person that was thinking about it. Now, I don't know how this is going to be a public conversation, but it's one of those things. I don't want to, because I feel like, some people say they didn't support my brand because they don't consider me to be black, so they don't support black-owned businesses. Because they don't want to support my business because they say it's not a black-owned business. But then I had somebody say they support black-owned businesses. They just don't support mine. I was like, okay. Because at first I was like, what are you trying to say? I'm not black. No, she just don't want to support my business. I'm like, you know what? It just is. It's a lot of people in the world, and it's just one person and her few little friends. So it's okay. You know what? And then I had one person. She bought something from me one time. She said, and I told, see, somebody watched. I said, and she said that if somebody commented her on it, she would not tell them where she bought it, just so I wouldn't get the sale. You know what? But I feel like somebody says, retail is a very competitive industry, and if Shantey decides she want to run over there. I said, my family, and then the community that I was raised in Georgia, and they're real big on entrepreneurship and then small businesses, and they encourage entrepreneurship. And I don't care how grown I think I am, I'm still the youth to certain people. So where I come from, a lot of people have small businesses, something like that, right? So anyway, I was like, okay, fine, it's just small. But I couldn't believe it. They said, I'm like, really? You know what? Anyway, and then somehow I'm in Baltimore. I said I got an apartment. I was working with the VA, but the VA was, and then somebody made a comment. They I don't know if I want to talk, because I'm a very private person. So this is one of the things. Do I want to say? I might. Cause the only reason I'm gonna talk about it, because I feel like if I talk about it once and I talk about it publicly, I don't have to say it again. You know what? So I passed a small business thing, small business thing, because I look at my brand as it's not necessarily a small business, but hopefully a growing business. I'm not shutting my brand down anytime soon. If there was ever an issue with a supplier, not a problem. The brand is a reflection of me and my personal style, my personal taste. Get another supplier and keep going. You know what? And then I know so much now. I can't tell you what I've learned in the last 4 years. I mean, child, you know what? But anyway, so I was, someone made a comment saying that I depended on other people to take care of me. That's another thing. And they didn't like the fact that I was living for free. That is another thing. And that I was living in an apartment and I wasn't paying rent. Now, as most people say, you shouldn't concern. Somebody said, you don't worry about how her rent is getting paid as long as yours is getting paid. Now, it's a possibility. When I was in Baltimore, I had AIDS. And it's not possible that I went into a leasing agreement with this particular management company, not regional management, residential one. And on my lease, for some reason or other, they put me under lease, but as long as I was living there, I didn't pay rent. It was like they gave me an apartment, or definitely gave me an apartment in their building under lease, but I didn't pay rent while I was living there. And then they put me under like a subsidy for like utilities. Like, we're not going to charge you for utilities, but as long as you don't go over this amount, then you don't have to pay those either. And then, but if you do go over, that's a lot of the amount. Then then I would get the bill. But other than that, it's almost like it is true. Someone gave it almost like gave me an apartment at least for a certain amount of time. And but I don't feel like that's something that I should discuss publicly. Now, at the time, I did go to the Housing Authority in Baltimore, because the VA has a program called HUD-VASH. Now, I dealt with the VASH people in Virginia once. And I actually did get a Section 8 voucher in the state of Virginia back in 2014. Did I use it? No. I've never, not there's anything wrong with Section 8 or any subsidized housing, but I never personally have been able to benefit from subsidized housing, more affordable housing programs or anything like that. Believe it or not, it's honest about truth. Look at yourself, you know what? Now, I'm sure somebody knows somebody that can go back and look, if my name has been like that for a long time. My maiden name, you don't need to know, but my married name. That's correct. Well, anyway, so me and my VA case manager, we went there, and I applied because they was trying to assist me with housing through a VA program. Now, I went and filled out an application with my VA representative, but I never got an approval letter in the mail, and I never went back to the Housing Authority and signed any documentation or received any package or anything like that. So by the time I finally get a letter in the mail from the Housing Authority, I had already applied for my apartment, I had already been approved for my apartment, and I had already signed my lease. It was under lease under the terms set forth by residential one. doing. Now, I don't feel like people should concern themselves because I'm not going to ask you how you pay your rent or how you maintain how your standard of living is financed. So I don't really feel like people should. But since you wanted to know, there you go. Anyway, ShanteyJ, good morning.